So everybody upset about that boxer, that female got punched in the punched in the face twice by that other female. It's actually a female. I was looking at trying to get some backstory on it, and I just happened to see Club Shay Shay, and Shannon was talking about it, and he pulled up pictures of the girl. She was a kid, dressed as a girl, like 8 years old, a whole girl. And I kind of find out that that is actually a woman who has a high amount of testosterone. And we've seen this before. And now the girl is quit because of the backlash. And the thing about this is we've seen it with Caster Semenya, and we've also seen this with Christine Mbama. Both of those girls are Africans from two different countries. And both of those girls run track. So Caster Semenya ran the 800, and she was whooping everybody's tail. And then what they did was they were like, "You're built like a man, Caster Semenya, and you're whooping everybody's behind in the 800. It's unfair." And then they went to, they pretty much told her that she needs to take blockers, inhibited blockers, to make her more feminine. This is what they told Caster Semenya. And they just stayed on her behind until eventually she quit. So her mother got involved, and her mother was like, "That is a female. That's a whole woman. Like, she can have children. Like, this is a whole woman. She's built like a woman inside and out." Caster Semenya is a woman. I know, because this is my daughter. I raised her. So we come to find out that all this outrage over this chick, this boxer, I mean, it's not for no reason, because we got transgenders that are, coming into the game and whooping everybody's behind. But it's only the males transgendering and the females who's, beating everybody, like the two black kids in track and field. These two kids couldn't beat the males. So they decided they wanted to be females in high school track and field. And they started whooping all the females, even though I don't think they could have beat Abby Steiner, but nonetheless, they start whooping all the females. And so the females in high school track, whatever high school they were in, went to their parents and they were like, "We can't beat these two black males." Now, everybody knows that black people are the fastest people on the planet. That's one. But now you're up against two black males. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So those girls decided they're not going to, run track anymore. So they quit. And when the parents saw how brokenhearted their daughters were, they were like, "Nah, we can't have this. My kid loves track. I want my kid to do what they love." We also seen the same thing, with, swimming. Same thing. We saw the dude from Penn State who was ranked 463, as a male, but went and decided to swim as a female and was ranked number 1 and beat the women so bad that he actually had to slow down to make it look competitive. And then at one point, he actually tied one of the females, and they gave the trophy to the male. Not only that, they let that male into the female's dressing room. So the females are in there getting undressed, and in comes a whole male, 6'4", takes off all of his clothes, and all the females in the college in Penn State, they're all looking at this guy like, this can't be life. Like, I'm not about to undress in front of this male, so they kept their clothes on. So, but nonetheless, they gave the award to the male posing as a woman. So when we're looking at the case of this boxer is not in the same situation as someone who's posing as a woman. This boxer is actually a woman that hits very hard because they have a lot of testosterone in their body. That is a whole female that hit that other female. Now, here's the thing. We're looking, okay, for one, women have become stronger because they go to the gym a lot more. So their tensile strength would mean their grip strength is a lot stronger than what used to be, right? So women are in the gym, the whole culture of that going on right now. So women are a lot stronger. But here's the thing, going to the gym and getting stronger is different than being born with a bunch of testosterone in your body, because it's natural. So if you're going to the gym and you're getting stronger, you're not actually naturally strong. You're just getting stronger because you're training your body to be stronger. This boxer that hit that female is already strong. It's already stronger than any other female that's going to get in the ring with them. So if you see a woman that comes in and they're all buffed up, that woman went to the gym and got that way. This boxer is already that way because that they have testosterone in their body. Not only that, when the female hit that other female, the one that got hit realized that not only have I got hit harder than what I ever got, I can't protect myself. And that's why she quit. She could not see the punches coming fast enough in order to get out of the way. Now, this is a whole thing. This happens to people actually when they start aging. This is why, when you're in your 50s, you don't take on somebody that's, a lot younger than you, because their speed is ridiculous and you can't adjust yourself before the punch hits you. You can't do it. That punch is going to close in on you, bow, and you're going to look like you're stumbling and a rank amateur at fighting. No, this is why a lot of boxers quit after a while, is because someone is just too fast and it's dangerous. So that's why that boxer quit, and she was crying because all of her training, especially getting to the Olympics, you got to go through a prelim for that. All of her training, she just gave up. It was like she had to throw it all out the window because she was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to beat this person. This person has an innate advantage. But they thought that this was a transgender. They thought this was, a Penn State situation. It's not. This person is a Caster Semenya situation. A person is born with it. And that's just the way it is. And you notice that the transgender community is not competing, like the females are not competing with the males. It's the males competing with the females to get the advantage. Nikki Hiltz is also someone who runs track. I watch a lot of track. Nikki Hiltz runs the mile. She just beat everybody in the mile. And it's like, oh, is Nikki Hiltz taking, testosterone to make it? No, she's not. But Nikki Hiltz is a transgender. But she doesn't run with the men. So it's just like, wait a minute, Nikki Hiltz, you still run with the females, but you're claiming to be a cross-gender. Why don't you run with the men? Because she will get spanked if she ran with the men. She'll get beat. Karsten Warholm will lap Nikki Hiltz, will lap her in the mile. Probably almost twice. Let's put it like this. The fastest person running the mile right now, male running a mile right now, Karsten Warholm, is running like a 3, 3:30 or maybe even a 3:27, something like that. Nikki Hiltz is running let's see, the fastest female runner is that chick from Africa who just had a baby. She's running like a 3:51 or something like that. The difference between those two times, almost 30 seconds, 25 to 30 seconds. The difference between those two times, just drink this in. Just drink this in. The 200 yards is covered, like Justin Gatlin can cover the 200 yards almost at 75% speed. Just think about that in that 200 yards. So that means if the fastest female runner today running the mile and the fastest man running today, if they ran all out, Karsten Warholm would leave the fastest woman, probably lap her, which is, I mean, she would still have like a lap and almost a half to go before she hits the finish line. That's how fast that is. It's just a huge difference. Even if the fastest woman in 100 ran, which is 10:54, Elaine Thomas, the fastest woman ran, and then Usain Bolt ran. He ran 9:58. If Usain Bolt ran 9:58 against a 10:54, Elaine Thompson would be 20 yards back. She wouldn't even be in the picture. Like literally, she would not be in the picture. She'd still be at the 60. It's that fast. So there's a huge difference between what these two female boxers. But now that boxer has quit, and now people have to say, is it fair that this female boxer has quit because she was born like she is? Well, what they did to Caster Semenya and Christina and Mbama, well, they ragged them until they quit. Caster Semenya doesn't run anymore. I don't even think she's 30 years old. I mean, hell, you got your people running the 800, 36 years old. She's quit. She's done. She's not going to run anymore because they tried to force her to take blockers in order to make her more female, and in order to even a playing field and say, hey, we're going to give you a disadvantage because you were born with an advantage. So this is what that boxer is going to have to face, the one who just cracked that lady's jaw. This is what she's going to have to face. They're going to say, you can compete, but we're going to give you blockers to turn off your testosterone, to tone it down. We're going to give you blockers so you don't hit as hard. And so you're not as fast. Also, so you're not as durable also. So there's an advantage that men have that women don't have. It's not that we can absorb pain. It's because women go through pain, men go through pain. It's the things that men do, we know it's going to be painful. When we walk outside and we're looking at, okay, the car needs fixed, when we get to messing with that car, we know it's going to be painful messing with that car. We know something's going to happen. We're going to get our hands messed up. All kind of stuff can happen to us. We know the jobs that we go on, when we're messing with those tools, metal hurts when it cracks against your skin. We know this happens. We know it. But these are the jobs we take. These are the jobs we're built for. You don't find, now women are starting to get in the jobs that most men. You got women who are mechanics, okay, fine. But you don't have a lot of women pining to be mechanics. You got women who are electricians. Still, the field is 90% men. You don't find too many women on an oil rig who are out there, you just don't find it. You don't find a lot of deep sea fishers, women who are deep sea fishers out there catching, blue marlins. You just don't find it. You know what I mean? It just ain't gonna happen. building bridges and whatnot, you'll find them standing there holding the sign. But the ones who are actually with the jackhammer, that stuff hurts. That stuff hurts. So I just wanted to talk about that because we're gonna see another change. We're gonna see another shift, and I mean, when you really start to look at it, now you're like, wait a minute, why are all these women starting to, come out who are naturally, like they naturally have a lot of testosterone in their body? And that's a whole nother subject, because here's another thing. You have more feminine men now than ever. Don't forget, there's no world wars. World War I, World War II. So what happened is hard men made life soft, and soft men makes life hard. So technology has come along so much that even building skyscrapers is easier. You got people who build tunnels for our sewer system. That's become easier. It's still hazardous. Listen, they used to lose a man a mile building the tunnels in New York. And they still went down there and did it, knowing that they could lose their life. They went down there and they built those tunnels because they had to. And they paid them good. A lot of them lost their pension because they got scammed. But nonetheless, a man a mile, not a woman. And the woman's actually one that scammed them. But a man a mile. Men built those underground tunnels for the sewer systems. Men did that and knew they were going to die. What are women building that they know they're going to die? Give me one. Nothing. Women are not walking outside in mass going, I'm going to do this because I have to, knowing I'm going to die. No, they're not. I'm not going to. Now, some people may say, oh, pregnancy, that's different. That's different. And we all appreciate, women who are having children. And yes, you can die. But even that technology has made that so women don't die as much. It still happens, and that's unfortunately. But I'm talking about regular occupations where you get paid to do it. That's what I'm saying. Women aren't lining up to go and do these jobs. But nonetheless, you're finding a lot more females that are being born now with a higher amount of testosterone, and you're finding men who are more feminine now. And this is a problem that society has created. And the internet and all this BS and all these men dancing around and prancing around and whatnot and doing goofy dances and whatnot, and get out there and do something with yourself. But this is the internet. This is the day in the life that we live in. And you get paid to what did the Olympics do? The Olympics had cross-dressers in the opening ceremony looking like the Last Supper. The whole acceptance, oh, they play with God, but when God strikes them down, I don't feel sorry for them. Nonetheless, they did that whole thing, and it's just like, why? They're not doing it to be all inclusive. They're not doing it to be all inclusive. They're doing it because they have their own agenda. That whole thing with the homosexuality, that is not all inclusive. Oh, we want Christians, we want Christians to see that we're Christian too. And, no, you mock God and you think Christians are we're not accepting of that. No. Christians don't accept that. No, that's not love right there. That's pure evil. That's pure hate. You don't mock Muhammad. Mock Muhammad and see what happens. Go ahead, dress up in a turban and whatnot, mock Muhammad, and see how much love you get. No, you're not brave. Oh, we're brave. You're not brave. you're you're messing with somebody you know that's not going to hit back. That's what you're doing. You're picking on the biggest person that you can, knowing that they can crush you in a second. They're not going to hit you back. No, go mess with somebody you know that's going to hit you back. You're not going to do it. You're not. You're not going to mess with Muhammad. You're not going to say a damn thing about Muhammad. You're not going to mess with Islam. You're not going to even pretend. You're not going to go anywhere near Islam. You're not going to mess with Buddha. You're not going to mess with any other religion that you know that's going to come see you. You're not going to do it because they're going to be at your front door. Those Sikhs will be at your front door. They've done it before. In the Middle East, the Muslims, they're going to, they're not gonna be at your front door. They're gonna blow up your front door. But Christians, no, they're not gonna do anything. They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna be upset. They're gonna make video after video. So-and-so got slammed for, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. You know why Christians don't have all this reaction and they just talk about it? Because they know God exists. God is real. And he's going to handle you. And when he does, the Christians are just going to sit back and be like, this is what you asked for. That's why they're not going to do anything. We don't have to. They don't got to do nothing. This is what you asked for. Do not mock God. Don't do it. But anyways, back to the female. She's going to have, she decided to quit as far as we know. I don't know if she's going to continue her career in boxing. The problem is, I don't know if she's going to be able to continue a career in boxing. And then Bruce Jenner was saying this was the fault of the Olympics and, the committee, and they let this happen. I think we all have misinformation because a lot of us looked at this person and went, that's a dude. We automatically jumped on the side of the crying woman. That's a dude. Turns out that's actually a woman. That's a whole woman who just, is just born, different, just born with a lot of testosterone. I just wanted to talk about that. And I don't know if you guys are commenting or anything, but I can't read any comments. Any comments? Probably not. We'll go to launch. Remember to guard your privacy. Somebody gave me a like. I just wanted to talk about that because I feel sorry for both of them. For one thing, the Olympics is a whole scam. That's for one thing. A lot of people, every person that goes to the Olympics for two reasons. One, they're saying, I'm an Olympian. I did something that very small percent of the world can do, which is true. Saying not too many people can run, under 10 seconds in the 100. I mean, when you get to high schoolers, your fastest high schooler, matter of fact, this year, the kid out of Florida, he ran a 9.98. Before that, it was Trevon Brumell who ran a 9.98. So this is your fastest high schooler. That high schooler, Chris Johnson, I think his name was something like that. But he actually went to the Olympic trials this year and lost. But it's okay. He's still in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. He lost. But nonetheless, when you look at how fast this kid ran, he ran faster than kids in college. So you got to drink that in. Most people cannot motor that fast. They just can't do it. So when you look at the Olympians, this is the best of the best. This is true. So this is why most people, they go to the Olympics and say, hey, I'm the best of the best. Another reason why they go is because a career, money. But the thing is, the people who run the Olympics makes a whole load of money, but they don't issue it to the people who actually compete. The people who actually compete do not make a lot of money. As a matter of fact, a gold medal in the 100 will get you around $37,000. That's what it'll get you, a gold medal. Uh, I forgot the actual worth of the medals, but the worth of the medals is they're not worth that much unless you sell them. Now, if you have a gold medal and you sell it, it's worth $20,000. So there's that. But the people who compete in the Olympics, as a matter of fact, Jamaica said they're going to give their competitors, they're going to have a allotment of $300,000 to share amongst their competitors. So they're giving more money to their competitors now, to the people who represent their country. And it's like $300,000 to represent your country. 300 for everybody, just for everybody in Jamaica who compete in the Olympics, $300,000. You guys share this. The Olympics is a scam. You see, when they went to Rio and they built up Rio, and they built it up in like the poorest part of the country. And as soon as it was over, they pulled out all that money and all those people went right back to being poor. I mean, they didn't even show you the most terrible parts of the favelas and, they didn't give none of that money to the people. All that money is for the greedy people who run the Olympics. I mean, the Olympics is a scam. Even Floyd Mayweather, who won in the Olympics, lost. The judge said he lost. And Floyd was looking like, how did I lose? And he cried. Go back and look at Floyd in the Olympics. He lost in the Olympics, but he actually won, and he cried. He was like, what are you talking about? And it was obvious that he won that fight. So the Olympics is a scam altogether. They don't give, and Sha'Carri Richardson was talking about this. She was like, listen, they don't pay for all the things you guys think they pay for it. When we go and we have to run these events, a lot of times we're the ones who have to pay for it out of pocket. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson is, she's backed up. Of course, she's sponsored. As a matter of fact, she'll probably win the 100 because she's sponsored. And it's another thing. If you haven't noticed, you'll see all of the big names have pulled out of the 100. All of the major threats, except one, have pulled out of the 100. So the people who you expected to run, for her to run up against, Shericka Jackson, is no longer there. She's not going to compete in the 100. Elaine Thompson, who won the Olympics twice, she's the only person who's did a double-double. She won the 100 and the 200 twice. You know what I'm saying? The only female to do that, she's not competing. She's dropped out. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she's going to be there. And look, I think Shelly-Ann Fraser, well, this is her last Olympics, but they're not going to let her win. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is going to get third. She's going to get a bronze medal. And yeah, this is what I think. I think she's going to get either second or third. I'm going to say, well, now that the other two have pulled out, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she'll probably get second. It'll probably be a close second, and it'll look like she's leaning. It'll be a photo finish. But the truth is, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, even at 30-something years old, and she has a kid, she can still run the 100 in 10.6 flat. Sha'Carri Richardson has never ran the 100 in 10.6 flat unaided. She ran a 10.54 wind aided, and it was like 4-something knots. It was, at her back, which is still fast. She fast. So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is faster than Sha'Carri Richardson. And it all comes down to crunch time. But the way the Olympics is set up is the more people watch, the more money comes in, the more the fat cats get the money, and the less they give to the actual people who are running. So this is what I think is going to happen. I think Sha'Carri's going to definitely come in first. Why? Because she has all the money behind her. If you guys know, this channel used to be like a sports channel. I used to be the NFL is fixed. And I used to do the same thing with the NFL. You follow the money. The person who had the most sponsors is the person who wins, the upper echelon of whatever event. You know what I mean? We all knew LeBron James was gonna, in Cleveland, we knew he was gonna win at one point. We knew it. He won, boom, no big surprise. Why? Because he has all the money behind him. You've seen it with the Astros. When the Astros won the World Series, a few years back, same thing. When they brought in that one pitcher, boom, they won the World Series. It's just like, come on, it's the same thing over and over again. So I think Sha'Carri Richardson is going to win because she has the most sponsors. There are more people that want to see her than anyone else in the whole entire world. She is the most talked about person in track and field. She's the face of track and field. And the person behind that is Noah Lyles. He's the second person, most famous person in track and field. Those two people are going to medal. Matter of fact, I think they're going to take it all. Now, you got Kashane Thompson. Now, here's Kashane Thompson in the 100 ran a 9.77 with ease. So everybody's like, oh, Kashane Thompson is going to win. It's going to beat Noah Lyles. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Noah Lyles is going to win the 100. It's just my prediction. I could be wrong. I don't care. I don't bet on it. I don't put any money on it. Don't put any money on it according to what I say. But nonetheless, Kashane Thompson was hurt. And then he started running, healthy, and boom, he ran a 9.77, and he made it look easy. But the fact that he was hurt not too long ago makes me go, you're not going to be able to do that in the Olympics. Here's a reason why. When you go to the Olympics, you have to go through the rounds. So there are a bunch of people you never heard of who you have to beat. And I think you have to go through 1, 2, 3 rounds. The last one is the final. So you have to go through the rounds. The first one is going to be cruise control. You can run a 10 flat and beat everybody by a mile. The second one, you might have to turn it on a little bit. You might have to run like a 9.9 or 9.90. Still, you beat everybody. The third one is the final. So it puts pressure under the runners. Is what I'm saying. And if you were hurt not too long ago, this is going to exasperate whatever injury that you had. That's my point. Noah Lyles, the thing about him is he runs good under pressure. He is a pressure runner. And there are a lot of people who are faster than Noah Lyles. They are not pressure runners. Hell, Trevon Brumell ran a 9.7 something. Not a pressure runner. So there's that whole thing. There's a lot of guys who are fast, but they're not fast under pressure. Noah Lyles is notoriously fast under pressure, which means he can keep running the same time consistently and stay healthy. This is where Noah Lyles has an advantage in the Olympics because they're going to run you and run you and run you. Then they're going to say, you're the fastest. Yes, you're the fastest because you're more durable than everyone else. Why? Because they fall off because they're running under injury. That injury hits them when they have to hit their top speed when it counts. Boom. This is what happened with Lamont Jacobs, who won the Olympics. You notice that all the people he were running against who were supposed to win, the Fred Kerleys, the Christian Colemans, what happened? They ran, boom. They didn't run well under pressure. Fred Kerley said, I messed up. I don't know what to say. That's what happens. So this is why I think you're going to have the two Americans are going to win, and it's just not going to be a surprise to me. And, listen, none of those guys are going to reach the financial height of Usain Bolt. None of them. Usain Bolt, before he came out on the track, he would say, give me $500,000. You want me to run? Give me $500,000. Usain Bolt, in 1 year of track, made $21 million. Now, it was all stolen from him by his own people. He put it in the bank. They stole all the money. But nonetheless, this is how much money this guy was making from endorsements, his own shoes, blah, blah. A lot of it got stolen, but nonetheless, that's, everybody wanted to see Usain Bolt. So he was like, if I'm the one bringing all these eyeballs, all these people are tuning in to see me, you need to pay me this amount. And they did, because he wouldn't show up if they didn't. Noah Lyles doesn't really have that pull. Sha'Carri Richardson, as a matter of fact, I think she just signed a huge deal where she got like 20-something million. Why? Because everybody wants to see the controversial queen. They want to see Sha'Carri Richardson run. They actually want to see her lose. You're like, oh, we want to see her. No, they want to see who can beat her. That's what they want to know, who can beat her. The answer is Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the only person who's ran faster than Sha'Carri Richardson in their own history. When aided, Sha'Carri's ran faster when aided, but when aided, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the only one that's going to line up against her. It's not even close at this point. You guys understand how fixed the Olympics is. It's not even close at this point. There's no one who's going to line up against Sha'Carri Richardson other than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce who's even close. Sha'Carri Richardson will have to mess up her race. She'll have to run crooked off the blocks and not hit her top speed, which is around 70. She'll have to not change gears in order to lose the race. If she runs a 10.85, she can lose the race. She can come in third if she runs a 10.85. But if she runs in the 10.7s and the 10.6s, she runs a 10.7, she'll be in second. If she runs a 10.6, she'll be in first. And that's just the facts. Listen, the only person who can even threaten her there's two people. One is Jose Toulouse-Smith, Marie-José Toulouse-Smith. She ran like a 10.87 with ease. But Jose Toulouse-Smith always comes in fourth at the big races. She's never won the big one. I don't think she can go into the 10.7 lows. I don't think she's ever went 10.70. She never have. She's a 10.8 runner. Melissa Jefferson runs a 10.85, but she's not consistent. That's her top speed. Melissa Jefferson usually runs an 11.1 or something like that. She's not going to beat Sha'Carri Richardson unless they, juice her up. It's just not going to happen. So there's only one real threat, and it's a shame to see that, because I would have liked to see her, run up against a healthy Elaine Thompson. But, we see this over and over. Elaine Thompson, she fires her coach, and then she makes her husband her coach. Next thing you know, she's not running 10.7, 10.6s. Elaine Thompson ran a 10.54 unwin aided. She's ridiculously fast, and she's the most perfect runner on the planet. She runs a straight line. Everything is straight. But you see the same thing in football. What do? They trade the players who are helping them win. We saw when Pittsburgh was winning. Next thing you know, you had a problem with Brown. Next thing you know, you had a problem with Bell. Same thing. It's just like, and once those players start acting up, what happened to Pittsburgh? They fell apart. You see the same thing with New England. New England had all their ducks in a row. They were the dynasty team. What happened? Boom. They hey, get rid of this person to make it seem fair. You seeing the same thing with Kansas City when they had Hill. It's just like, boom, you guys are winning too much. It doesn't seem fair. Get rid of this player, this player. Now Hill plays for Miami. You know, get rid. That's what they do. Whenever a team is dominant, they're like, get rid of this person, this person, this person. Make it seem like you're having problems with them. Boom. Once they get rid of them, then they make it seem like it's even again. The next thing you know, somebody else wins the big game. It's all fixed. I know I'm ranting because I just feel like it, but I just want you guys to see how these sports are all rigged to make you watch and get your emotions involved in them, but they are not. They're not true to you. They're lying to you to your face. If you follow the Olympics, if you go back to the Carl Lewis days, you got those guys who are coming out now and they're talking about how juiced up everybody was. Even got people like Tim Montgomery, who was a big drug dealer, who's talking about how he was on drugs racing up against Mo. He's racing up against Mo Green. And then you even got people in track today, Christian Coleman, who avoided 3 tests. 3 tests you avoided. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't want to get tested because, hey, we know while you were in college, when you were in college and you run the NCAA, when you ran for Tennessee, yeah, you was on that stuff when you ran, you know what I'm saying? Then you come out and then you are the world record holder in the 60. Yeah, you're the world record holder in the 60 and people are like, wait a minute. We need to test this guy. Then they go and start testing and you're just like, no, I'm going to skip the test. I don't want to be tested. Yeah, because you're on drugs. All those guys are on drugs, and it's just a dirty game. It's who's juiced up to the hilt. So I just wanted to talk about sports, and I appreciate you guys for stopping by and listening. I think there's 4 people here. You guys can, hit the like button. Appreciate it. And if you want to talk some more sports, I'm with it all day. There's some sports that I don't watch. So if you're asking me about badminton or archery or something like that, or even judo, I watched, I think, the beginning rounds of judo. And the one young lady who's from Japan, she lost to I don't know if she was a Brazilian or whatnot, but she hit her with some kind of slam move, and she got the final point on her. And when she got that point on old girl, the chick from Japan knew she lost. And she looked, she looked at the judge and she was just kind of, then she was kind of just like staring off into the crowd, and she, was on her knees and she didn't move. And she was just like, I lost. And she was so dumbfounded that she lost. She just didn't know what to do, and everybody's watching her. And then she stood up, and then the judge raised the other girl's hand, and she walked off, and she just kind of, fell on her knees again, and she was crying hysterically. And then her coach came and got her and tried to pick her up, and she did not want to get up. And when the coach got a hold of her and was trying to stand her up, and she didn't want to show her face, no nothing. Now the coach, the people from Japan, they're serious about their sports. So his face was straight, right? So he had a straight, I think everybody left. But he had a straight, I'm going to finish the story anyway, but he had a straight face, and old girl, she couldn't stand up. And so the whole crowd stood up and gave her a standing ovation. The reason why she was so dumbfounded is because she hasn't lost in 5 years. This is how dedicated she was and how dedicated the Japanese are, when it comes to their sports. They're like, you represent our country, you win. And she is so devastated because, there's a lot that goes down with losing in the Olympics. I mean, we know this all the way back to Jesse Owens and Adolf Hitler. Hitler was like, "Can't no black man beat no white man in any sport." And then Jesse Owens came and just whooped everybody in the 100 and 200. And Hitler was like, how's this possible that, the dominant race, just lost in a foot race? Well, Africans are the fastest people on the planet. That's just that, they have the most fast twitch muscles than anyone on the planet. Anyone. And the majority of time, even when it comes to combat sports, the African is going to win. If you look at boxing, the majority of men and women who are number one in boxing are black. Can't get around it. It's simply because speed kills. So there's that. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and get off that unless you guys want me to talk about something. But yeah, the Olympics is fixed. Don't get your heart all into it. Cheer for it, whatever. It's cool. It's a shame that it can't be real. Your favorite athletes are all hopped up on something, and it's just not a real race. I miss the real, I got some grass in, where I live at. And every now and then, even though I got these bad knees, I will just sprint across the grass. Like, I miss that. I grew up. Who was the fastest person in the neighborhood? We would all come out at night and we would just have these huge foot races, just complete honesty, nothing but fun, nobody fighting. And we all knew who was the fastest person who was in our neighborhood. His name was Eric. He was faster than every single person in the neighborhood. And he blew everybody away. He beat my brother. He beat the guy who beat my brother. And, he just made it plain. He was like, none of you can run faster than me. And none of us could. And it was beautiful. And the Olympics is supposed to represent that. But the countries go so hard on the people who represent their country. They want to win so much, because of their pride, that they juice up their participants, and it's not real. When you find out that these people are all hopped up on some kind of drugs, you're just like, well, you're just cheating. Listen, at one time, what was it, Germany? Germany, or was it Russia? At one time, everybody in Russia, in the last, I think it was like the last Olympic, the Olympic before that, boom, everybody was on PEDs in Russia. Get them out of here. You can't compete. Everybody was on PEDs. When you look at the world record in the women's 800 and in the women's 400, when you look at those two women, they look like men. They look like men. The world record in the women's 400 is 47 seconds. College kids in the NCAA are running 49 seconds. This is NCAA. This is the winner of NCAA, 49 seconds. The Olympics, I think the last Olympics that was won. Now listen to this. The last person that won the 400 in the Olympics, I think, was Salah Nasser, I think. And she ran like a 48 or 47, 48 low or something like that. But what I'm saying is, it's very hard to beat those times. that were set 20 years ago before drug testing. That's what I'm saying. It's very hard to beat FloJo's time. Very, 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 very hard to beat FloJo's time. And people were like, FloJo's on drugs, blah, blah, blah. We never found that out. Even, someone was talking about Edwin Moses, and as soon as drug testing came out where they can test you right on the spot, he quit. He's like, no, I'm done. We know Carl Lewis, Ben Johnson, the whole thing with Ben Johnson was a big deal. Ben Johnson won the Olympics. Once they found out he was using, he lost everything, including his house. He lost everything. But here's the thing about it. Everybody in that race was dirty. Every single person. When Linford Christie won the Olympics in the 100, when he won the Olympics, dirty. And they asked him about it. He was like, I don't want to say anything about it. Dirty. Linford Christie was dirty. And I loved watching Linford Christie run. That is a big man. Loved it with that huge stride. He looked like a superhero running. Dirty. They're all on drugs. We're not getting honest races. We're not getting people to we're not getting the barefoot backyard races like we used to love. We're not getting that. We're getting a bunch of robots. Even Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce at one time, they was going to ban her because they said she was using drugs. You got to understand, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the most winningest female in Olympic history. She doesn't have the most golds. She's the most winningest female, which means she won her race. The person with the most golds is an American. And that would be, dang it, I'll follow her on Facebook. She just had another baby. Old Chicken Legs. I forgot her name. It'll come to me later. But she's the most decorated. Why? Because she ran a bunch of relays. They would call on her to run a bunch of relays. So she would medal in relays and in her events, but mostly she would medal in relays because she ran the 100, the 200, and she ran the 400. What's her name? You guys know her name. The one who had the controversy when she got pregnant and Nike dropped her. And then she came back and she qualified for the Olympics. It's beautiful. Nonetheless, what I'm saying is we're not getting honest races. We're not getting honest sports. Whatever sport that you watch is not honest. Listen, high schoolers, you can't even get honest sports in high school now because high schools have taken sports and sport pride to a level that is dangerous for the student. You're not getting honesty. And I mean, when I played high school football, they didn't give us, a shot in the arm and make us super, human. No, we went out there, we had oranges and bananas and Gatorade in the cold, getting warmed up by a fire that was lit in a garbage can. And we played in 3 inches of snow and slush. And that's what made us superhuman. We had a hell of an immune system. We were freezing. We'd tell the coach we're cold, and the coach would be like, I know. But none of us wanted to go home. None of us. That's what made us. You're not getting that today. And it's dangerous because you get people who are dying in sports today, especially in combat sports. And this is why you have people who are in, contact sports. Some of those guys, when they realize that their opponent can't keep up with their hand speed, there's only a matter of so many hits that they're going to take to the head before they're going to be completely finished. completely. And then you're going to have a situation like Dooku Kim. You don't know who Dooku Kim is? Look him up. A very sad situation. He was a boxer. And I forgot who it was. But nonetheless, he got hit. He got hit one time too many and died in the ring. And this is the problem with PEDs. This is the problem with people who are, walking, into these rings, so much stronger than their opponent, and bringing it back to this, female boxer who's got all this testosterone. That female boxer she can kill somebody. She can snap a chick's neck. For sure. She can hit one of these chicks, right up under the chin, rattle their whole brain, and they're not, it'll be $1 million baby. They'll rattle their whole chain, they're not getting up. What happened to was it Green? I think it was Green. He fought against who was that guy? I forgot those two boxers' names, but they came in, they had a slugfest, and it was beautiful. It was nose to nose. They're both black, too. They're both American. It was nose to nose, slugfest. Nobody wanted to back down. It's what you want to see in boxing. I want to see the skills. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like a Sweet Pea, God rest his soul. Sweet Pea would dodge all those hits. No, these two were taking it to the face. Boom, boom, boom. And it was like, it was Gladiator. It was the Roman Gladiator. Blood. Let's go. Well, problem with that is not everybody walks away from it. And once this one boxer hit this other guy, boom, he caught him. He went down. And when he went down, they started counting. And then he was able to stand up. But when he stood up, the ref looked at him and he waved off the whole fight. Then once old boy went to his corner and they were looking at him and trying to talk to him and getting him to respond, it's a big thing. This is why when something happens to you on the street and people come up to you, are you okay? Are you okay? They want you to respond because they know your brain is still in its right, function. If you can respond and say, yes, I'm okay, or this happened or that happened. But if you can't respond, then you have what? Brain damage. That's what happened to McClellan. McClellan was his name. So he suffered brain damage, and they didn't realize at the time that he was suffering brain damage while he was fighting. And that last hit is what knocked him out of orbit. And after that, he's not able to walk. I don't even think he's able to talk. His sister takes care of him. He's in a wheelchair. His body is feeble. He can't do anything on his own. He went from being somebody who demolished Green. He beat Green. He beat the hell out of Green. And he went from being a number one monster to being somebody who can't even walk or talk now. And he's like that today. But I don't know if he passed on or not, but look him up. His name is McClellan. But I don't know if he passed on, but once your body hits that state, it's all downhill from there. And he couldn't recover. So this is one thing that the Boxing Commission has to look at, because if you have a ref, like there was a ref in the MMA, it was an older dude, Mergliotta, I think his name was. Older white dude. We liked him because this guy would let the fight go on. He wouldn't stop the fight, like a lot of fights now are, stop the fight, the Israel Adesanya fight, when he fought against the one Arrow dude, the one Indian dude, he felt like the fight was stopped too early because he said I could still see and I wasn't knocked out. He was like, I could still see him. I was still dodging punches, but they stopped the fight. So they said it was a technical knockout. Well, Mergliata would have let that fight keep going. He'd been like, nah, you keep fighting until you knock this dude on his ass, you know. But now they stop that because if they think you're technically knocked out, they want you to be able to fight again. So now a technical knockout is when you cannot respond. So if you ever seen a street fight, you know, especially if you've seen a street fight among women, most of the time, you know, when they're fighting, they'll lock hair, boom, want to be on top of another one, boom. They would call that a technical knockout. Why? Because the person on the bottom cannot respond. You know, they would either stand them up and then say, go at it again. But if the person on the bottom cannot respond, then that's a technical knockout. Men, we usually beat each other up until the other person can't respond on the street. This is what they don't want to do in MMA. Because if they do that and that person suffers an injury where they can't come back and, you know, fight again, that injury is probably lifelong. And then MMA is, you know, going to get sued for that. This is why they have different judges to come into MMA now and go, technical knockout, he's out. Even if the guy is still swinging, but, you know, you can tell that he can't respond. Okay, one case in point was El Kukui got knocked out like this. He got knocked out by Justin, forgot his name, Gaethje. Justin Gaethje knocked out Tony, forgot what his last name is. But what happened was Tony could not respond to Justin's fist hitting him. And he bloodied up his nose, but he was still conscious. He was still standing on his feet, and he still knew that he was in a fight. And this just to show you how tough El Kukui is. He was like, I'm still fighting. And he didn't turn around and say, hey, let me out. But Justin Gaethje was still walking him down and busting him in the face, you know, crack, crack. And they were like, and you could even hear the announcers going, like this is bad. But he didn't stop. Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson was like, I'm still in the fight. So he was trying to fake like he was throwing dirt. And Justin was just beating the hell out of him is what he did. Till finally everyone except El Kukui was like throwing the towel. So they threw in the towel and it was technical knockout. But El Kukui was just standing there like, why'd you throw in the towel? Why? Because Justin Gaethje was going to kill you. He was going to kill you. Justin Gaethje he's the most he's the most exciting fighter to me. And even when he gets knocked out, it's not a loss to the fans. Because the fans know Justin Gaethje is going to go in there and try to knock you out. And he'll say it himself. He's like, I know I'm going to get knocked out with the way I fight. But he is the most exciting fighter because he brings it to you. Like when him and Dustin Poirier fight, it's beautiful. And Justin has beat Dustin Poirier. Dustin has come back and beat Justin. It's one of the most exciting fights you'll ever see because it is straight up banger. But nonetheless, technical knockouts are a thing. And this is why, because people can lose their life. I'm going to go ahead and go. I appreciate you guys for stopping by and chatting it up with me. And peace to all of you. Take care. God loves you.